I woke up this morning to a number of people sending me this video and they want to know what I think about it. I'm sure many of you have seen it, but let's take a look.
Welcome. What's your name?
Becky.
Is that your student of the school you're in?
I'm just going to try and
300
speed
level.
things up so we don't waste a lot of time on this.
Cool. Now listen, right? I just popped into Enugu and I'm flying back tomorrow. Would you like to come back with me and, just take you out?
Let's just stop it here. The idea behind this video, as we can all tell, is the usual kind video where he's like taking somebody and helping their life, right? We all see these, we all love these videos. But then the question behind this particular one is not concerning the creator, but concerning the person, the person that was being helped. The question is to the content of her character. And people are saying a lot of things about the relationship side of things, how that she actually have a boyfriend and he's crashing out. That's not even my main focus for this video. Here's the first thing that I think. I think that as a society, we have progressively been abandoning our most core ideals, some of the most fundamental things that have kept our societies functional for centuries. And yes, I am one of the biggest proponents of cultural review. But the thing is, when you start to do that, the first thing you realize is that not all culture or tradition is inherently bad. They exist for a reason and sometimes for very good reason. See, I don't know if you know this, but the African is fundamentally a proud being. Like, most of our culture is rooted in something the white man will call pride. But it's important to understand that pride in itself is not a bad word, because what many people will refer to as pride, especially in this particular context now, is just a preservation of dignity, an acknowledgement of self-worth. Let me break it down. I'll give you an example. When you were growing up, the fact that your father may not have been able to provide something for you, maybe there's a new shoe that come out, everybody in your children's church is wearing it. Daddy, please buy this thing for me now. This is what is raining in the school. And your family is not able to provide that or says be patient. You don't just go out one day and come back in the evening wearing that sandal or that shoe. Who is your father? Who born you? How do you come about? These questions you will answer with a lot of tears in your eyes. Nothing gives you the right or the reason to go and receive it from an outsider. It's just not done. It's not done anywhere. And you see, one of the things, one of the virtues, the values that this stance of culture seeks to achieve in the life of a growing child or the human who subscribes to it is, wait for it, contentment. And this is something that is fast eroding, progressively being deleted from our minds in this generation. Contentment. There's something everybody's clamoring about. We don't have it, and we are okay with that. Period. Let me tell you, you see this thing this girl do, anybody that can embark on it, it shows very clearly that they don't have a strong male figure in their lives. I know it for a fact, and the key word there is strong, because the figure fit there. And bash me all you want, eat me up all you like, but if you call your father right now and say, somebody just approached me this evening, we're going to Lagos tomorrow. Okay, why? Is this social media thing, we just want to enjoy? You know the answer you are going to get. As a father, if my daughter do this kind of thing, I have failed as a man. And it has nothing to do with money. Absolutely not. Number one, if she asks me, I will not agree. And number two, if she doesn't ask me and goes on the trip, I'm still the failure that I think I am. Oh, let her just have a little fun. Now live a little. See, let me tell you something. If you are not yet doing things, the explanation of which many people will not and cannot understand, then you are bound to end up like everybody else. Do you get my point? If everything that you are doing, everybody is understanding and flowing with you, you will end up like everybody else. Because think about it. Let's look at it this way. There is nothing that she will benefit from this particular journey now that has any strong significance or bearing on her lifelong journey. In the wrong term, nothing. And some people will come and say, connection, network, these things are wishful excuses that are made up to justify a longing that originated primarily in the flesh. No, the journey was not based on connections or network. Primarily started based on lust. And obviously, lust has different meanings and can be expressed in different ways, not just, You didn't set out to network or connect, or let's not kid ourselves. That was not the primary reason you said yes when they asked you, will you elope with me? The agreement was fundamentally based unlost. Let me tell you something about myself. You see, I can count from myself 3 generations upwards that the strongest value that is being upheld in this line is a lack of movement and rusting for what every other person considers to be fantastic. Where I come from, we're not moved by what moves every other person. That's the life that is being poured down generation to generation, and as God helps me, I go pour them down. That's the view on life that we have over here. Nothing you get with the shackles. And make no mistake, contentment is not satisfaction, because the fact that we don't have it right now and we are okay with not having it right now doesn't mean that we have no plans of getting it in the future. The key word is focus. Day your lane. Work with your lane. See, as surely as God helps me, no child of mine, from when they open their eye and start to be breastfed till they enter adulthood and independent, will be moved by what moves every person else, every other person. And that should be you. We are not part of the herd. The herd mentality has nothing on us. Every time I see a young woman misbehaving on the internet, the first question I ask myself is, if na your daughter, that's my own daughter, how you go feel? Every time I am dealing with a young woman, I have to ask myself, if na your daughter and na another man, they treat them like this, how will you feel? And that sort of guides my thoughts in that scenario, that situation. And of course, I understand that how you go feel depends largely on your values and your perspectives, but it also speaks to an empathy in man. That even if you may be okay with doing these kinds of things and your value system is kind of like screwed, warped, you don't even know you're left from your right, in terms of the effect it will have on that person, short term and long term, because people tend to start thinking more long term when they are dealing with people that they deeply care about. And so you may be the horriblest man on earth, but if you're dealing with somebody who you care about very directly, who you love very deeply, then you are going to have to look past immediate gratification and consider the more long-term view. So as I'm dealing with this person, what if now another man they deal with my daughter like this? Not because of karma or anything, but because of the impacts that kind of negligence, a neglecting of people's feelings and of endpoints for people will have on my soul. I care about my own self more than what karma would do to my enemy. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. So if now my own daughter, how will I feel if somebody were handling? And this is exactly my thought process concerning this particular thing. And I would feel all shapes of hurt. I don't feel as a man. It gets some things where before you do, you consider the pride and the dignity of your family. For real. See, I have no problem with Asher. Absolutely fantastic creator. We love his videos. Obviously, this is absolutely great for his brand. So this has nothing to do with him, everything to do with the character of the person that is, on the trip. And if this girl is unwise, I'm not saying she's unwise, I'm saying if she's unwise, she may never recover from the consequence of this particular trip, because it's very easy for somebody to forget the randomness with which she was picked for this escapade and then begin to ponder within herself, there must be something about me that made me to be chosen among all these other people. And if that is the case, that thing will repeat again in the future. And so she will use this particular experience as a standard for judging men who come her way in the future, maybe wanting, boy and get things. And the consequence of that is that you will find young women that are now being wickedly used by this particular class of men, people who can provide this lifestyle, because they think that's what I deserve. That's where I belong. So because of this, she may continue to expose herself to people in this class, and if they have hard time, they will oh my. And on the other hand, she will neglect the beauty that may be found in the people who are approaching her but are still building. When they ask her, do you have boyfriend? She say, no, I don't have. I've even never had boyfriend. I look at her, I say, it's possible that this may be the case, because I see the good in people. That's my own style. But then I went ahead to start leading the comment. My chairman is a crashing out. In his journey of scripture, he's currently in the book of Lamentation. And while that is not my focus for this video, all the best to everybody involved. I hope that we all come out better people, I guess. But this one, now my own 2 cents on the issue for those who are asking. You can subscribe and at least make sure that when I drop my next video, if your notification is on, you will know before other people. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'm curious. But don't forget, subscribe with this button. Don't mention no. We don't do that here.